I'm Father Curtis Carlson. I'm a Capuchin and a priest. I work at the Catholic Center at the Citadel Mall. We rent a space within the Citadel Mall here in Colorado Springs, and we're not a retail store, but we primarily we're here. A priest is here, a Capuchin priest, to hear confessions or to help people privately. And then we also have weekday masses available during the week, and we don't sell things, but we give away Bibles and prayer cards, medals, rosaries, books and booklets for people that visit us. Richie asks about the conditions and requirements for being a Capuchin. So basically, you have to be a guy, to be a Capuchin Franciscan, although there are women, there are Capuchin Poor Clare sisters, and so women are free to look into them and perhaps be called to that more contemplative life, because the Capuchin Poor Clares are all cloistered, so they don't go out and about with an active ministry, but remain within the monastery and have a life of prayer and community, and usually some kind of work, like our Capuchin Poor Clares in Denver make habits and bake cookies, and then get money income from that. But as far as our community of men, we would look for men who are Catholic at least for 2 years, if they're newly converted to Catholicism. We would look for someone who is at least 2 years out of high school, and during those 2 years will have been successful in studying in college, or will have had a job and worked and provided for himself over those years. And so if it's been more than 2 years after high school, again, we would want to see that a man has already lived his life as a faithful Catholic, has been able to provide for himself, is already showing that he knows how to get along with people, that he has a consistent practice of prayer, that he has been of service in a parish and to the community. So that would be one of the basic things, is that we want somebody who already shows that he is able to do and wants to live in a way that we Capuchins live. And some other things would be that he not have significant debt built up, because if he joins us, then he would not be able to continue to pay back that debt, plus to have a major debt that was because somehow of his choices would indicate that maybe he doesn't always choose wisely in terms of how he spends money. And so for us, we do take a vow of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So living the life of poverty, a life of simplicity, we would need to know that a man is able to manage his consuming of goods, his spending of money, would be able to live the very simple lifestyle choices that we have. And so other than that, it's basically a guy that's well balanced, is able to get along with people, is able to live in community in terms of rubbing elbows with other friars day to day, being able to adjust to that kind of interaction. We would want him to be able to participate in household chores, to be able to be articulate in terms of how he expresses himself. And when a guy applies to us, the first emphasis is on whether God is calling him to be a Capuchin. So he might have an interest in priesthood and believe that he is also called to priesthood, but to begin our formation program with our Capuchin community, the first thing is God calling him to live as a Capuchin in community? And then after usually in the third year of formation, the question is asked, what will be his ministry? And it's during that year that he perhaps can begin seminary studies. But again, if the community we need to evaluate each man to know whether we see in him the ability to study and learn at a higher level, and would see within him the ability to live and to serve in a way that a priest serves God's people. And so that would make a difference in his discernment if he is definitely wanting to be a priest, but there might be reasons in which we, the Capuchin leaders, would see that maybe we would not present him for priesthood. But even if not priesthood, we would want each Capuchin to discern what would be his ministry, what kind of activity would he be involved in. We have friars who are, there's one who's a nurse, many have been very good cooks, some have gone into psychology, some have done theology studies and would have that kind of background to teach or guide people even without moving towards priesthood. So basically we do want someone to be a good Catholic, a good person in working with others, basically a capable, well-balanced sort of fellow. You don't have to be perfect, but we would have a certain expectation in terms of his ability to live well, to make good choices, and to already be living in a simple way, a chaste way, and be open in obedience to the guidance of our Capuchin leadership.